Welcome back, everyone, to Modern Escapism's The Last of Us Spoilercast. As before, my name's Gadget, and I'm joined by Oodles.
Endure and survive.
And Stig.
Hello.
The other two couldn't be asked to turn up, and we shall mock them mercilessly for it.
Yep. We are the last of us.
So, going to carry on the same format as we had last time. We've got 3 episodes to go over. We've got episode 4, Please Hold My Hand, episode 5, Endure and Survive, and episode 6, Kin. And they have been quite the ride of episodes, actually.
Quite the mixed bag.
I felt. Been a bit of a mixed bag, but they have. I think they've pushed the story faster than the first 3 episodes did.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Yeah. But we might as well just dive straight in with episode 4, Please Hold My Hand, which was always going to be the hard sell after a long time.
After one of the best episodes of television ever.
Yeah, no episode was going to do well against that, and I think a lot of people agree that Please Hold My Hand was the mixed bag episode.
My least favorite episode so far.
Yeah, so this is the episode where they make it to Kansas City, which I misidentified as Pittsburgh last time, but no, it's Kansas City.
It looks like Pittsburgh though.
It does, even though it's somewhere in Canada.
I think it shows that Pittsburgh looks like a city that's destroyed. That's what Steelers play.
Yeah, it looks
well.
it looks like Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic.
So yeah, traveling through Missouri, Joel and Ellie are forced to take a detour through Kansas City, where they're ambushed. Joel kills 2 of the bandits, but a third overpowers him, and Ellie chokes him to death before Ellie saves him by shooting the man with the pistol that she took from Frank. Bandits find the bodies, and their leader, Kathleen, believes Joel and Ellie might be in contact with a man named Henry and orders a manhunt. So the opening of this episode is pretty much nailed on to what's in the game.
Yeah.
You had the section where they were kind of camping outside, and you got a nice bit of kind of character development between the 2 of them. And you also start kind of injecting a bit more of the humor into it again, because that's where, Ellie's found the pun book.
Yeah.
And she's reading out the puns. And I like that inclusion, because that was just a really throwaway thing in the game.
Sometimes you didn't hear it, because you could stop it happening by start playing the game.
Yeah. It was idle chatter in the background, wasn't it?
Yes. Whereas
this kind of really forced it in. And I think it's also kind of showing just how good a connection Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey have, because those moments of levity are really brilliant. You can genuinely believe that they are
apparently offset. Them 2 were like incredibly close.
Have you not seen interviews with them? The 2 look like an absolute fucking nightmare to control.
Yeah, father-daughter relationship, but like imagine if your father wasn't as old as he's portraying.
Yeah.
Young dad.
I mean, Pedro Pascal himself is just a big kid.
Oh, he's such a kid.
And she's still a kid. So the 2 of them get on like a house on fire. But yeah, I really like the sequences of them camping, and then we get the big drama, which is when they get to Kansas City. The highway through the city is it's blocked up by accidents, and more skeletons for Stig.
Yes, I did notice that. I'm appreciating every skeleton that we meet along the way.
Skeleton Watch, a podcast within a podcast.
Yep,
exactly. Yep. You're gonna have to start rating these skeletons as well. So they detour through the city itself, and there is a guy there who's like claiming he's hurt. Joel tells Ellie to put the seatbelt on, because that's when they get ambushed by raiders, bandits, awful people.
He knew,
well, because he says later in the episode, "I've done it myself."
Yeah.
And I think this is the first big shootout, I think, with humans.
The only.
I think so, yeah. Because the original, what was originally meant to be a shootout, they just used the infected, didn't they, in the museum?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think what I noticed with this one, the sound of the rifles and the guns was ear splitting. It was so good.
They used them new. I were watching the making of reel of it, and they used them new because obviously laws now in America have changed with using firearms on set. They've used them new, what they call like ballistic barrage things, where they're more like fireworks than guns. You know what I mean? It's all about the noise because they don't hit anything. Obviously, these and they sound good. They sound good.
Yeah. We actually see most of the fight from kind of Ellie's perspective as she's hiding through in another room. And she's looking through, and I think this is definitely the first time that Ellie sees him kill someone who's unarmed.
Yeah, because it kills the guard. It kills the guard by punching him to death, doesn't it? On the first episode.
Yeah, but the guard pulled his gun on him.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy was like begging for his life.
Yeah, and he just didn't calculated risk, didn't he? He was like, "Fuck it."
Well, he's right though, isn't he? Like the guy might have been begging for his life, but if he'd have let him go, then
we say guy. He was a boy.
Yeah. But
he was a teenager.
You can understand it from one end. You do understand it. Obviously, he's afraid, but Joel realizes that if I let him go, then that's just us as good as dead.
He's gonna come back. Yeah. I agree.
I did find the bit where he sent her through a hole in the wall to then open a door at the other side. I was like, that was very gamey, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. There's quite a few sequences in Kansas City because you boost her through like an air vent or something like that, and she opens the door for you.
Yeah, I do like that they keep throwing in these random little spots throughout the show that are like, that's very like what you would do in the game.
Yeah.
Still waiting for him to push her on a pallet and some water.
I think that's probably going to be a last episode thing when they get to Salt Lake City. I also like this bit where you have this kind of quiet moment with Joel and Ellie in a diner a little bit later, where the two of them where he's kind of counseling her on kind of death and murder and that he's done awful things in the past, like stuff that kind of really wasn't talked about in the original game. That was more of Last of Us Part 2 kind of stuff.
Yes, it was. It was more of a flashback one from Part 2. And he also does that thing where it's like, you can have a gun, but you got to put it in your backpack.
And she immediately puts it in her pocket.
Yes. I think he knew she was going to do that.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, it's nice that he kind of has that conversation with her, and he kind of explains like what him and Tommy did effectively to get to Boston.
There were traffickers, weren't they, in this story of the game? They were human traffickers.
Yeah.
They did some heinous shit.
All for food.
Yeah.
And bullets. Yeah, we get introduced to Kathleen as well, who is the leader of this raid. Now, this was a new character. This is a new bit of the story then, because when you get this in the game, they're just generic goons, aren't they?
They're not even like organized. They're just marauders. Cannibal. There's cannibal things as well in the game where you read stories where the vet people.
Yeah, but that's not these people in Kansas. That's later down the line.
No, even these, because I've just been playing it as well. Yeah, it mentions it. It's not outwardly like shown, but yeah, and there's even in this bit, there's people saying, "Oh, I had to eat him," but it's what he would have wanted, not the cannibal tribe later on.
Yeah,
I kind of like them putting a bit more into the enemies other than just being faceless goons.
They were called the Resistance, weren't they? In this.
Yeah, like I'm not going to go into like storyline spoilers, but The Last of Us 2 did that a lot with kind of the chatter you heard as you were wandering around the game world.
So good that when they're crying when a dog gets killed, going Daisy, no.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean? Like you're not.
It humanizes.
You are rooting for Joel and Ellie, but at the same time, you just kind of also push to realize that there are other people in this world who are just looking after themselves, and the show
getting on with shit, aren't they?
Yeah, they're trying not to make them just look like cannon fodder.
Yeah. So, Kathleen, I thought she was played really well. She's played by Melanie Linsky, who, for the life of me, I thought she's familiar for the longest time. Turns out she was Rose in 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Which I'd forgotten about. But, so, yeah, she's an original character created by Craig Mazin. And he said, just reading off Wikipedia here, Mazin compared Kathleen to Madame Defarge from Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities.
I can see it.
A revolutionary who becomes terroristic due to cruel circumstances, which allows the audience to empathise.
Yeah.
And she played that role really well because, and Pip pointed this out when we were watching it, she was fucking terrifying and she never once raised her voice.
I don't think she was.
She was like that.
I think
she was that cold, calm, calculated kind of scary.
I think she was
didn't
terrifying.
Find her scary.
Yeah, I think she was
personally.
terrifying only in the way because she had like Jeffrey Pierce's character in the background and stuff with her, all these other men with her that respected her. And it turns out, obviously, we know why later on, but I think those people made her scary because she had an army behind her. Individually, I don't think she was scared. I don't think that doctor was scared of her.
I think definitely in world, I think she was quite scary. I think she, or at the very least, people feared her enough to be wary of her.
And I'm not sounding redactive or anything like that. I think it were almost comedic that how she spoke and stuff, and how she acted, and I don't know. It kind of threw me off a little bit. I was a bit like, oh, I didn't.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Like I didn't feel like that, but I have like read musings from not that side of the internet.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman.
Yeah, like people who are perfectly reasoned with their arguments on what they didn't enjoy about.
Like if they had someone
character
with the caliber of like the lady who played Tess in charge of this, I'd be terrified. Do you get what I mean? I think there's two different types. She reminded me of, I don't know, like a nurse, a nasty matron at most, at best. Like, oh, she's a bit nasty.
Maybe that's what they're going for, something a bit different than than the hardened bitch, for a better word.
Yeah, Linsky herself said she wanted to play the character as soft-spoken and delicate to juxtapose the violence she's capable of. Because you get that scene where she's interrogating the doctor on the location of Sam and Henry, and then when she doesn't get an answer, she just pulls a gun and kills him.
Yeah, well, she
she's
doesn't kill him then, does she? She goes and thinks about it. Then she comes back and kills him, which that I was like, oh, that's now. Then she is a bit more serious. I'm like, okay, but I still think the character like drew me out of it a little bit. I was like, this woman's nothing.
I think the next episode she was portrayed better.
Yes, I agree.
I think it came across a lot better in the fifth episode
when she spoke about her brother and stuff,
and what she does with the people they've rounded up and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Which we'll get to in a minute. I think this was. I think some of this stuff kind of suffers with it. I think this has been the shortest episode so far because it's only 45 minutes.
Yeah, the pace is rapid.
Yeah. So the episode ends with Joel and Ellie climbing up to the 60th floor of a skyscraper.
It's the Final Fantasy VII moment, isn't it?
It is. I do like Joel's line. It says, "Is this as far as we're going? It's as far as my legs will take me."
Yeah. I'm 35 years old, and there's no way I'd be able to get up 10 flights of stairs without needing a rest. There's no way.
Let alone 60-something.
Not a chance. It does make you wonder though, that because like in the game, like especially in this city in the game, there's no massive skyscrapers left, and I like that they've put it in. Like the big skyscraper in the game is the one you do really just out of the QZ in Boston, isn't it?
Yeah.
And in the game,
you click a tutorial.
It looks really big and to climb up, but in the game it takes seconds to get up. It's weird.
Yeah, but you only go up to like the 5th floor or something.
Something like that.
Very high,
the sequel does height a lot better. There's some frightening bits with height on the second game. Fucking hell.
So they get up to this kind of office suite and they bed down for the night. Joel doing his best to create like a sound trap with broken glass so that they would hear the crunch, but unfortunately he either sleeps too deep or it didn't work.
No. He slept on his good ear. He slept on his good ear, so his bad ear was facing.
Oh yeah,
he's got bad hearing, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he couldn't fucking hear it. That's the idiot. He turned over when he were laughing with her.
Yeah, he did have a little joke with her, didn't he?
Yeah.
He started to let
he turned over the wrong side because he were comfortable.
This is the moment he kind of lets his guard drop with her.
Because he were too comfortable.
Yeah. But yeah, so wakes up with a young boy pointing a pistol at his face, and that's where we end the episode.
And that's where I went, that's Henry. In my head.
Yeah, it's Sam, actually.
Sam, sorry, yeah, that's Sam. In my head, I was like, that's Sam. That's the boy.
Yeah.
We knew that.
Episode
4, it's been definitely the worst episode of the series. However, it's not bad. It's good. It's still a very good episode.
Good. It's an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10, man.
Yeah.
Well,
but it was
ranked
never
higher than long time, according to IMDb.
Yeah. You see, it had significantly less gays in this one. That's probably why.
Honestly, I'm just looking. I've got them up now, and I'm just like, how? Like, oh, come on.
Still mad about that. Which is a shame because, as we say, it's one of the best episodes of TV ever created of anything.
Anything.
But we move swiftly on to a much chunkier episode.
A much better episode.
5, Endure and Survive.
Oh, this episode's good.
Yeah. So this is the one where we get the full introduction to Henry and Sam. And they work together to escape the city using some underground tunnels that only Henry knows. And then shit kicks off in the suburbs. Massively.
Mm-hmm.
So, we kind of start off, we have this kind of tense standoff with everybody where it's like, I'm not going to shoot you, I'm not going to shoot you, I'm not going to shoot you, all that, put your guns down. We do get a change here in that Sam is deaf, which he wasn't in the game. And they have a deaf actor playing him as well, which I like.
Yes, they struggled to get a black kid who knew ALS, as well as the black version of ALS, because there's a different dialect to black ALS, and they struggle. And apparently, ASL, you know what I mean? American Sign
ALS
Language.
is Lou Gehrig's disease.
They struggled to find one. Yeah, ASL. Did you say American Sign Language? Yeah, they wanted a black version of it, and only 4 people went for the role. And
he's very good in it. Regardless,
Mazin said, "How lucky were we to find an absolute incredible actor amongst just 4, because they expected to get hundreds of young kids coming in, but fucking hell."
So it was Sam was played by Kayvon Montreal Woodward, and brilliant young actor,
fantastic. I bought everything that kid did. I bought everything.
So the kid is autistic, which we saw in the previous episode when they find Sam and Henry's hideout, and there was like kind of pictures of superheroes all over the walls. And most of the time, when kind of Sam isn't directly in a conversation, he's kind of sat drawing or he's sat kind of occupying himself, and he is quite traumatized by the things he's been through. We get a kind of a flashback to earlier days during, recenter days before Joel and Ellie had turned up, of them hiding out from Kathleen's horde. I really love the change. I love the rapport between Sam and Henry.
Yeah.
Henry played by Lamar Johnson.
He's great as well. Really great.
Because he's been in a few things.
Yeah, he's a good character actor. He's been in quite a few things.
I think the next step was what he was in. So we find out in this episode that the reason why they're being hunted, because it doesn't make sense that this Kathleen and her entire force would be hunting this one kid and his young charge. And it turns out that Henry in this, because it isn't explained in the game, I don't think.
Makes no mention, no. Collaborators,
they were collaborators with Fedra.
Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
End up in ditches.
But he was doing it for the right reason.
Yeah, because in this version of the story, Sam had leukemia.
Yes, he needed
so he
medicine.
was doing it to get the medicine. But when Kathleen's, so he basically ratted out and caused Kathleen's brother, who was the leader of the revolutionaries, to be captured and executed.
Yes, so it's a revenge.
It's a revenge. It's a big fat fucking revenge, and she's tearing apart Kansas City to find him.
Even to the point where I forgot his name already. Tommy's voice actor in the game, big beard, handsome guy. He's saying
Perry.
Yep. He says we'll follow you, and he clearly doesn't want to put all these resources into this, but it's a respect thing, isn't it? I think they loved her brother so much because he started this resistance that they'll follow her into gates of hell. Do you know what I mean? Regardless.
Yeah. It's almost like they need to be told what to do.
Yes.
We've lost our leader. Someone stepped up. Well, no one else did, so we'll just follow her. And
whatever she wants.
Yeah. Because he even says, doesn't he? He doesn't. She says now, and he's like now.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't want to do it there and then.
Yeah.
But like he's quite reluctant. Like you say, he's quite reluctant to.
He's trying to be the voice of reason for her. I think this is where the scary part, the fear that she inspires comes, because we have a sequence where she's in her kind of childhood bedroom, and kind of reminiscing about her brother, and then she's saying like, "We will find them tonight, and we will do it," and yada yada yada. And he is scared of her in that moment.
It's also very like, wow, that she's been in that city ever since childhood. I mean, that is her home. There's a bit more to it. A lot of Americans travel quite far and wide, don't they, from where they're born? But that is her childhood home, and she's being protective of the home and her brother's memory as well. So she gets way more complex in this, and I start liking her a lot. But we don't get much time to like her much longer.
No. I think she's specifically designed to be unlikable, even if she is slightly sympathetic. One of the most heartbreaking scenes that we get, where they're escaping through the tunnels that are underneath Kansas City, they find this area where it looks like there had been a school or a creche or something where children had been playing.
A home, wasn't it, really?
Did you notice how one of the drawings that said Daddy was of a policeman? Like a guy in SWAT kit, and just to show, like the other side, the Fedra, they had family too. Trying to really play with the audience, isn't it?
It's just, I do like how they recreated that nursery from the game in the sewers as well. That it looked. Yeah. I didn't think they'd do this, and then unlike with the game, and this is where I think this show's got a lot more time to do this because it's less action orientated. They've got time to relax and speak, and I love this monologue and dialogue between Henry and Joel at this moment when they're sat at the table, and he tells him what he's done.
Yeah,
and Joel's like, "You fucking snitch." He still can't get past it. Do you know what I mean? Even though he's like, "You're not in the QZ anymore." Do you know what I mean? You still can't get past that someone's ratting people out to Fedra.
Yeah, I guess it's that 20 years of survival.
Yeah. If Ellie wasn't there and Sam wasn't there, he'd have fucking stabbed him in the neck.
Yeah, I like this moment though, because you get the opportunity for Sam and Ellie to be kids. Like they're playing with each other, they're giggling. Like it's this moment of kind of calmness.
I love it that like he's teaching her sign language and she's using the magic slate. I had one of them when I was a kid as well. I love magic slate so much, and because it makes so much sense that he's walking around the world with a magic slate because it's unlimited uses in it. Pen and paper.
Yeah.
It'd run out. But yeah, and she's just completely ambivalent to the fact that he's got a disability. Do you know what I mean? She don't care. She's just getting on with it, and that's what I like about Bella Ramsey in this. She's just shows she's really good at playing a kid when she's not a kid. She's got that innocence to her as well as that potty mouth as well. I think it's really good how she's a completely different character when she's with Sam than when she's on her own with Joel. It's fantastic. I think it's great acting, and people moaning about her makes me sick.
I mean, yeah, every episode she's just getting stronger as an actor.
She's
like,
so good in this.
The performance is incredible.
She's such a big sister to him, and it's immediately. You know what I mean? It's so good.
Yeah. So they leave the tunnels and they get out into the kind of the suburbs at night. We get a almost one-to-one recreation of an action sequence from the game. My least favorite sequence in the fucking game.
I love
the sniper rally
in the game. I love it.
Such a pain in the dick, this bit.
It's it's at daytime in the game, and I think it actually works better at night in this.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So I like the twist to this bit as well compared to the game.
Yeah, so they happen upon a street and that's kind of heading downhill, and at the very bottom of the hill there is this house. In the attic of the house there is a man with a sniper rifle, and he is taking pot shots at them. So Joel, ever the industrious one, sneaks around the side, gets in, kills the guy, and takes the rifle, just as Kathleen's people do.
But don't miss on the most important like interaction here when he gets to there and he sees it's an old man, and he realizes why they've not been shot because he's fucking terrible shot. And then that old man turns and looks at him, and Joel says, "Don't do it, because he knows that man's had enough. he don't care. He knows he's not going to win in a quick draw. But
No.
I think that old man wants to be killed, and Joel's like, please don't make me do it. He knows that's like suicide, isn't it? Please don't make me do it. And he just said that gun. I thought, fucking hell. Joel did not want to kill this man. But the man wanted to be killed.
And I quite like it that it's humanizing Joel, because again, when you play a video game, you're carrying out several massacres throughout a game. And I quite like this, like, showing the unwillingness of Joel to actually take a life.
Yeah, it's like, come on, please, mate. Come on. Just, okay, bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't,
I love that.
You definitely can't portray Joel in the TV show like he is in the game. People would just be like, no, I don't like this man.
This is what people said. People said it with the other Naughty Dog adaptation with Uncharted, and people were saying, but he hasn't killed 100 people before the puzzle. Do you know what I mean? How come Tom Holland hasn't murdered 500 people behind the ruins? Because he does in Uncharted, doesn't he?
Very much
He is
so.
a mass murderer, that Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it's that old ludonarrative dissonance.
Yes. And this shows you that in a real situation, I think it's more than one reason. Like, 1, don't want to waste bullets. 2, I don't want to kill you, an old man. 3, you would have never hit us anyway because you're a shit shot. 4, just fuck off and die somewhere else on your own. But I think that little 30 seconds, I think that's beautiful.
So, Kathleen's people are heading down in a convoy. Joel picks up the sniper rifle, starts shooting at the big truck that's coming with "Run" written on its cowcatcher, which I quite liked.
Yeah. He said that on the.
He
says it on the game.
There's cars blocking the street. She's like, well, ram them out the way. What are you there for?
Yeah, I did like that. Yeah,
the again, it's her will versus their unwillingness, isn't it?
Yes.
So he kills the driver. That truck kind of veers off to the side and crashes into one of the houses.
Again, 1-to-1 from the game.
Yep. The militia spew out, and basically we get a bit of a Mexican standoff where Kathleen is basically trapped Ellie, Sam, and Henry behind a car, and Joel is hiding up in the attic. And we get the big speech. We get the villain monologuing kind of moment.
When she says, "Kids die every day."
Yeah.
Oh, that's heartless. That's evil.
That's evil. It's like, let the girl go. It says, oh no, her and a friend were complicit in killing the other guys.
Yeah, kids die every day is. I've already seen T-shirts on Etsy that say that. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking.
You're a special kind of fucked up if you buy that T-shirt.
Yeah, it's harsh, isn't it? It's an harsh quote, but fucking hell, it's one of those things that's like...
She's cold.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's cold. Her revenge is so hot that she doesn't care what her words are saying.
No.
She's just...
But then we get my favourite sequence in this entire series so far.
Really?
Because just as they're about to get the kids, the camera pans over to the truck that crashed into the house that then starts to sink.
Which we did have forewarning on the episode before, didn't we?
We do, yeah, we did. So when Kathleen and Perry were looking into one of the buildings where they were hunting for Sam and Henry,
there was a sinkhole.
They see this thing in the basement. There's kind of the ground undulating slightly, a kind of grumbling noise. And it seems that they're not willing to do anything about that because Henry did the revenge story.
Henry did mention that Fedra weren't all bad because they drove them all underground.
Yes. Well, the thing is, when you have a big explosion over something that's underground, the ground can kind of sink.
Oh, yeah.
The truck sinks down, and a full horde of infected come out. And the camera is low to the ground as if you're looking under a car at this happening. And it's the most terrifying sight of all of these infected pouring out from this.
And that's why they did it at night.
The speed of the way they come out is terrifying.
Oh, the runners are ridiculous.
I thought it was excellent the way that they came out.
And it's not CGI.
No, they're all human. They're
it's
all
real actors.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah.
That's probably why. That's probably what makes it more effective as well. Again, is that it having it in with practical makeup and real people just means that there's no risk of it looking a bit off. No jilting,
even the little
CGI.
girl clicker was real. It's just a real little girl.
Yeah, and that was even more terrifying because how many times do you see kids being zombies or infected.
Not really.
Never.
Other than like a couple of times in,
and we get two in this episode
in The Walking Dead. Like, it's genuinely, you never see it, do you?
I've watched every single episode of The Walking Dead, and I can't recall if I've seen a child zombie.
Yeah.
I don't think there is.
Once.
Maybe early seasons.
Season
when it
2,
good.
Sophia's in the bar.
Oh yeah. Frank Darabont seasons, you mean? The good ones.
When it were good.
Yeah.
Season 2 was fucking gosh. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
No, we're talking about the.
How did everyone like the change up when how they introduced the bloater?
I liked it because again I was expecting it in the Billstown episode because that's where it happens in the game.
I stopped expecting that after the episode started being a flashback.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like when you were like, looking forward to it.
Did you not expect? Were you not after that? It's like expecting it to be something similar just in the next episode further down. I was expecting it to be. We'll get to that. It'll just be somewhere.
Yeah, me and Gadget mentioned on this podcast, the first one we did. We said we'll see the bloater. There is a bloater that comes up, and it came up a bit earlier. But it turned up, and it was bang on. But Mazin and what's his name, Druckmann have already said on Twitter that they wanted the bloater more grounded in reality than a gameplay aspect in this. Like the bloaters in this world are just big blokes or big people. Yeah,
because the bloater in the game like tears bits off.
Yeah, they throw gas grenades at you and stuff, and they just wanted a big rhino man. Do you know what I mean? That's what they wanted.
I like
that's what they
I
get.
like the introduction of them. I like the introduction of it. Like it's that kind of because everything kind of bursts from the hole very quickly and starts rushing them. But then you get this kind of slow lumbering thing that gets up. It takes its time to get out the hole.
Oh, aye.
And you get a full view of it, and then it sprints, and you're just like, "Oh shit!" It was a full
and like
shit
Perry's trying to shoot it with his machine gun, and it's just popping polyps. It's like accrued an armor, hasn't it, of cordyceps?
Yeah,
it's fucking wild.
Which I mean, again, that's how it is in the game. You have to break through its armor.
You have to break through it,
damage it.
Yeah, so good. And then it rips his head off like a packet of crisps.
Because it does that kill from the game
pulls
where
his jaw up. Something, doesn't it?
Yeah, grabs his top jaw and pulls back. But thankfully, the camera is far enough away.
Yeah.
That was a mixture of practical effects and some CGI.
That's mental.
So there actually was a guy in that suit just tearing
there's loads
through
of pictures
people.
of him. There's loads of pictures of him just stood next to Bella Ramsey.
Yeah,
he's 6'6" stuntman, and he worked on Game of Thrones as well.
Yeah, there was a TikTok going around where that big bloater guy, the actor, and Bella Ramsey went to Starbucks dressed up, and he just turned up. I'll find it again and send it. It was so fucking good. HBO's TikTok is on fire lately. I'm telling you, it's so good.
Yeah, we get so when the bloater arrives, that's when the big shout of "fucking run" happens, and they start to run away. But Kathleen corners them.
Vengeance.
At the end. You get the vengeance. And it's the little girl clicker that gets her.
Oh, she gets her.
Honestly, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see that it was going to be the little girl clicker getting her.
I thought she'd kill Sam there.
It's ironic, isn't it? After a whole kids die every day.
Yeah, and then a kid kills her.
Gets
perfect.
Kid. Yeah.
It's Shakespearean. It's perfect. Love it.
You know the town they're in as well. They built all that.
Yeah, the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, because reading that they couldn't find a suitable street to do it on to dress up.
Can we destroy your street, please?
Built it.
I'd have let them do it.
They built it near Vancouver or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's probably plenty of like rundown neighborhoods and places in America they could have filmed it on, but they just couldn't find one that worked right.
Yeah. Well, there was where they had Bill's house in episode 3. That was a real place.
Yes, that was.
They just built some fascias of houses there.
Yeah. Oh god.
But yeah, so they escape from the.
Did you think the episode would end there? I did.
I had a feeling it would, but
I didn't see the time. I didn't see the time when I was watching it.
I mean, it would have been a fine place to leave it had the next sequence not had to happen. If we were going to be with Sam and Henry for a bit longer, but we see them in a rundown motel, where they're just kind of hiding out and chilling out, having a bit of bite to eat, and just connecting with each other. You see Joel and Henry are kind of getting on better, and Joel gives the, if you're traveling to Wyoming, why don't you come?
He opens up, come with us. Yeah,
and we get the most heartbreaking scene of the episode where Sam and Ellie are talking in the next room about the comic books, and then Sam asks about monsters, and then reveals he's been.
The thing is, it's so slowly because he's using the magic slate again. And he's like, "Are you scared?" And she's like, "Of course, I'm always scared." And he's like, "You don't look scared," but and then it's like, "What do you think happens?" and stuff like that. And then she shows her bite, and then he's like, it shows him his, does something like that. It's so fucking. And she does that thing where she's like, "I know." She cuts the sen, and that's the hope as well, isn't it?
Yeah, she tries to kind of give him
I'd
hope.
have loved that to have worked.
Yeah, in a way, she wants to give herself hope and hope that this is right. But I'd forgotten what happened to these.
Really?
To these two. Yep.
This is one to one with the game. This bit, isn't it?
I know, but I'd completely forgotten what happened with with the characters. So it was all kind of new to me again because I genuinely couldn't remember what happened.
Wow. Oh, that must have been such a shock.
And it's that Sam asks Ellie if she'll stay awake with him.
Of course, she says yes,
which is just fucking heartbreaking.
Yeah.
She wakes up. She's obviously sat by his bed all night. Wakes up in a chair, sees Sam sitting by himself on the bed. Gives him a tap on the shoulder, and he's turned, and he turns around and he attacks her.
Do you know what's so good about that? Right? He's deaf.
Yeah.
So he didn't hear it when she got up and said. Do you know what I mean? And it shows that this is what frightens me a little bit. There's still the human inside the cordyceps. You know what I mean? There's still the essence of that person there. Like, being infected doesn't cure your hearing. You know what I mean? You're still deaf. I think that's fucking...
Well, yeah.
I think there's something to that. There's a bit more to it. Like, it's like, there is something still of humanity inside. Because they keep asking, are you still... is it still part of you?
Are you still in there?
Are you still in there? And that's like, yeah, he was kind of still in there, obviously, because he was still deaf.
The thought of being still in there consciously,
it's
but
frightening.
Not being able to do anything because this entity has taken over you and controlling you, but you can see and understand everything going on around you. That's the idea that could be happening is so scary and terrifying.
The thing is, though, like, if she'd have got up and just walked into the living room and not disturbed him, sat there, he wouldn't have moved because he's deaf. He's moving by instinct. The only instinct he's got is sight at that moment in time. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it could have been sat there for fucking hours. That's wild.
So they fall into the main room as she's trying to get Sam off her, and Henry picks up Joel's gun, shoots Henry dead. Shoots Sam dead, and then turns the gun on himself.
The thing is, right, that moment, I'm sorry, but I have to... These moments really touched me, and this moment really made me cry. Like, he shoots him out of instinct to save a kid from being killed by a monster, and then he clicks on what he's just done, and he's like, oh, fuck it. Sure. And it doesn't say it's like, it's your fault or something like that, and then bang.
I don't think he says anything.
He says my fault.
It's my fault. That's it. And then he just goes bang, and God.
He's got nothing left to live for, has he?
He's got nothing. That were his purpose.
I generally said to Kate, I was like, I'd probably do the same. What have I got?
Yeah. Like, he even shot at the floor to stop Joel from stopping him, but then his instincts kicked in when she started screaming more. Like, he still wanted to save a kid, but unfortunately, we're saving a kid from his kid brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, man. It's fucking brilliant, though.
And I think this is also most impactful as well when you get to see the camera pans to Ellie, because this is the first traumatic death that she's seen in this series,
and she
makes the first traumatic death as a character.
She does a little whelp, doesn't she? She's like, oh,
yeah,
it's proper good.
So they bury the bodies,
which we never saw in the game, did we? We just skipped.
Don't see that in the game.
To the next season.
And Ellie writes sorry on the.
I thought it was going to say endure and survive.
I think she didn't want to put that in there because he didn't survive.
No, but it was kind of.
I think she's saying I'm sorry that my blood didn't work.
Yeah, it was, but that's just what I thought she put because it was like that was a moment between them. But yeah, like obviously I'm sorry works just as well
Yeah.
But again, the show literally built up 2 characters and killed them off within an episode and made you care about it. Like, it's incredible writing to do that.
All in the spam of what in total, like less than 2 hours.
Just over an hour.
Yeah,
it was just over an hour that episode.
Fucking hell! It's
just all that story at the beginning, because I think you spend the first maybe like 15, 20 minutes just with them two and that guy in the loft, and then when he goes, it's just them two, isn't it?
Yeah,
and it's so important to give you that time with them and to learn about them and understand what they're going through.
That's why I think like Mason's the new director to watch now, isn't he? The new showrunner to watch, like Chernobyl and stuff.
I see. He's gone from Chernobyl to this. He's doing pretty
this man
well.
is the one to watch. His name's Mason as well. He is amazing. Do you know what I mean? Hey. I can't wait to see what his next thing's going to be. This guy's got such an attention for detail. It's like beyond just watching a show. Like, this is where again Walking Dead just fell off because it didn't have that attention to detail throughout. It just went from stabbing zombies in the head like stabbing a sponge. Do you know what I mean? This has got so much attention to detail with every character interaction. It's fucking genius, man. Just
just looking back at Craig Mason's career, he's properly pulled himself out of the doldrums.
Apparently he was bad though, weren't he? Originally.
Well, so his first film was Rocket Man. Then he did Senseless. Then he wrote Scary Movie 3 and 4 and Superhero Movie. Wrote The Hangover Part 2 and Part 3.
It was all about like Chernobyl, and everyone's like, "How is one of the best TV shows ever come from the guy who wrote these films?" But
I think when he's got time and budget always
maybe
helps.
he knows how. Maybe he just realised actually drama and horror is. I'm actually good at that, and I should just step away from
I'm not
shit
funny.
comedies. Yeah, I'm not funny. Yeah, people keep telling me I'm not funny. Finally, I've realised by producing 2 amazing TV shows.
Yeah. Oh God, he wrote The Huntsman: Winter's War.
That's not as bad as you think. That that's not as bad as you think. That film.
It's still the prequel to Snow White and the Huntsman.
Oh, it's shite, but it's not as bad as you think. But yeah, he is really. He's the one to watch.
He's pulled himself up, and
I hope he sticks with TV and leaves films. Leave him. TV's better than movies.
He's the writer for Borderlands and Pirates of the Caribbean 6.
See, because of that, I'm more interested.
But yeah, his TV credits are only Chernobyl. He wrote 1 episode of Mythic Quest and now The Last of Us.
And you love Mythic Quest, don't you?
I do, yes.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that kind of gives us the end of episode 5. A heavy episode, lots of action, lots of drama, lots of tears. And then we get to this week's episode, Kin. So this one is the big skip ahead. 3 months after Henry and Sam's deaths, Joel and Ellie reach Jackson, Wyoming, where Joel is reunited with Tommy. So this episode starts in the winter, so it is following the seasons that the game follows, sort of. But we're about the same point in the... We get to winter about the same point as we do.
It wasn't winter in the game when they went to the dam.
No, true. It was end of autumn, wasn't it?
Yes. We're not far off. They've just skipped gameplay, basically. They've skipped gameplay.
Yeah. I like this opening where they happen upon this old
the natives
American couple.
Yeah. She's really so good, and that guy, he's in everything. He's such a bit part character actor. He's in
Graham Greene.
Yeah, he's in loads of stuff. He's in one of the Twilight films. He's in loads of stuff as this like sassy, stoic Native American guy. He's brilliant at what he does.
Oh yeah, he's got a ridiculous IMDb.
Oh yeah, every time you see him, you go, there he is, and he's always great in it. Such a good bit part character actor.
So yeah, Marlon and Florence, who were people who lived on the land before everything went to shit in 2003.
Moved, mate. They haven't moved.
They warned them. They warned Joel and Ellie not to cross a certain river because that means death.
The river of death.
Yes, and to avoid places where people are, because where people are is where infected are, which seems redundant given everything they've been through. But yes, that is pretty much the case. But yeah, they are still on the quest to find Tommy.
She steals a rabbit from him.
Yeah, she steals a rabbit.
He goes, put that back. She goes, no. I love
we
it.
get a lot more. We get a lot more character development between Joel and Ellie. Joel has his first little panic attack moment as well, which is alluded to later.
Yeah, I had to correct someone on Twitter, like, oh my god, they're making Joel have heart problems. I'm like, it's not. That's a panic attack. Obviously, you've never had anxiety or panic attacks in your life. That is a perfect representation of a panic attack. They do feel like heart attacks to some people.
They do to me.
Yeah.
We get our first little HBO blooper as well in this one.
Yep.
Oh.
Which is so when you're getting those when they're heading towards a bridge, and you get the kind of the wide helicopter shots of the snowy landscape. On one of the shots in the bottom left hand corner on the riverbank, you can see the crew.
Oh, that explains this TikTok I just watched about that very shot. But instead of crew, it's the orcs running to Isengard. Take it. That explains that so fucking thoroughly. Like, right. Because I know Weta Workshop worked on this program, and I was like, I don't understand why but they're in the bottom corner and these dogs are running going, looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. Fucking love TikTok.
How can they not capture these in these big, like, budget TV shows?
I don't know.
Look at Game of Thrones with the coffee cup.
Well, I'm wondering at this point, is it just an Easter egg?
Yes, I reckon it is, mate. I reckon leave it in. Let the nerds
what they
find
could
it.
say, what they could say, just come out now and go, no, that's people following them.
Yeah.
And you could get away with that.
Yeah.
You could just say, no, that's people following them. Well done.
Did you not know that this is a documentary? That's a documentary crew.
No, I don't think you can see equipment with them. I'm not
sure. You see people.
It could just be anybody.
People. So they could turn around and go, that's the people from the town following them, and well done you for spotting it.
Yeah, that could be the Rohirrim, couldn't it? Because the riders of Rohirrim come and capture them, don't they? It's a joke.
So
terrible joke.
It was
cut that out.
No, you're not.
We get a really nice sequence between Joel and Ellie where Ellie's just adamant that she wants to learn to hunt. So we get a really fantastic little shot where Joel has set up a target for her.
That's later on, isn't it?
Rifle.
That's later on, isn't it?
No, it's in this opening sequence.
They do it again though later.
They do it again at the end.
That's it. Yeah, they do it again because it says like loser or something on it. Asshole. Yeah, that's near the end of the episode, isn't it? That bit.
Oh, so it is. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting turned around.
Because he gets Tommy's gun, and it's a better rifle.
No. Yes. Yeah, the beginning part. This is where they kind of bivouac down in a cave.
Yeah, they do that. They do that rotating shift, but he didn't want her to do the rotating shift, but she still did it anyway. No. And she went, no. I was good. I mean, it happened. It worked. And he's like, yeah, it's true. Because he's deaf as a post, that man.
Yep. We get we also get like the Ellie backstory that she's really interested in space.
Oh, when she said all she had was the ocean and the walls, and she always just looked up, and I was like, yes. My favorite moment in the entire series is that moment, the lift-off moment.
Yeah. Joel confesses that, if he could, he would just have a ranch with some sheep on it, which Ellie mercilessly mocks him for the rest of the episode. So they carry on. They find the dam, which is a fucking red herring. I was expecting the dam to be where he finds Tommy, because that's where he finds him in the game.
She goes, damn. So funny.
Which she does in the game as well.
I know she does, but I still think it's funny. She goes, damn. And he's like...
It's perfect 14-year-old humor, isn't it?
I just think, every time I see a dam now, which is not very often, I'm still going to do it. It's a pure joke. Pure one-worded joke.
They're a little further on from the dam. They are then surrounded by people on horseback. And we get into the Wyoming-Mexican standoff.
Oh, the thing with the dog had me fucking... shitting myself.
Yeah.
I was shitting myself.
So it's how do how do we know you're not infected? Yada, yada, yada. Here we've got this dog that'll smell any infection on you.
Oh.
It goes up to Joel and gives him a sniff. And then they send it to Ellie. And it is the tensest sequence.
Do you know, I will think...
the camera is focused on Joel all the way through.
Yeah,
and never
his
looks
face.
at Ellie.
His face. But you know what? I think this is a red herring. I don't think that dog could smell the infected. I think they would have seen if anyone starts getting antsy and... Oh, I'm infected. Because how can you train a dog to sniff infection on somebody? They could be sniffing anything.
You can train a dog to sniff cancer.
I know you can do that, but I just don't think. I think they were making it up because it should have sniffed it on her. Because the detectives picked her up. Unless it's different. Unless it's different for scent.
Well, the detector things are supposed to be an instant blood test.
Yeah, it's a blood test. So yeah, I don't know. I still think it was a bit of a red herring. I think they were just testing waters with that dog. They'll probably do it on everyone. Yeah. And if someone goes and starts legging it, they know they're infected.
Yes.
Who knows?
But Ellie passed the test. The dog licks her. The tension is broken by the sound of her giggling, which is a nice tension breaker.
Even I went like that, literally. Prop. I went fuck. So good. So good.
And then we get to a Last of Us 2 thing where we get to Jackson.
Yeah, because she says, he goes, I'm looking for my brother, and then the woman turns up, and then, what's your name? And he says, Joel. Then you get the gallops. Good shot, that.
Joel. That's as the new show is now called.
And we're calling your wife.
Yeah. Joel on HBO.
Yeah. Are we watching Joel tonight?
I mean, I think most women in the world are saying that.
I think most men are saying that.
Look at him on that horse.
There was a bit in this when I'm watching it with the wife, and do you know when he's leaning up against the post later on? She went,
yeah.
She went, I went, what? She went, nothing. I went, you wish you were that post, don't you? I'm sick of this. Everyone loves Pedro Pascal like he's some kind of god. He is a god, to be fair.
Yeah, true. I must admit, I am starting to get a little bit tired of the thirst edits on TikTok.
He is, though, isn't he? He's great, isn't he?
True. So Jackson, Wyoming. It is a commune of 300 people. They have kind of got electricity going from the dam. They've got running water, sewerage.
Because that is something I noticed when they got to the dam. It was running.
It's running.
It was operating. And I thought, huh? So yeah,
Metal Gear.
He didn't like her calling them communists. So
communists.
We are communists. And he was just like,
yeah, a man that had been in the American army that explicitly trained to hate commies. He's just going, oh no, I am a communist.
The interaction is like Ellie says, so it's like communism. He's like, well, no, it ain't like that. He says, no, it is. This is a commune.
We're communists. His face was priceless.
Worth pointing out, Joel's brother Tommy's played by Gabriel Luna.
He's a lot better in this than he was in the first episode.
He was. He got some time to stretch his legs.
It's the guy from Terminator, the baddie Terminator.
Oh, we kind of missed over, just skipped over that bit, the bit where they see each other again. That was really.
Tommy.
Yeah, I thought it was really emotional. I thought they did that really well.
It was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really, really, really well done.
It's also, I mean, this show is full of rare moments that you don't really see in modern TV these days, but rare moment of male vulnerability and male emotion.
They were just so happy. That was love. And he's like, and he goes, I came to rescue you, and they both start laughing. That's so funny. Oh God, that's so good. Yeah, good to pick that up, Stig, because that was a beautiful moment. I think that's up there with like my favourite moments in the series so far. Just not being afraid for two hyper males to be boys again, to be young boys again, and because you like I can attest to this. I've got a little brother, and we were thick as thieves as kids. We hugged each other and we were best friends. And I don't see my brother now, and I barely talk to him. And that moment made me like choke. I'm like, fuck, there's nothing stopping me from being close to my brother apart from us being assholes. And it's powerful, man. It's good.
Yeah.
Some good shit.
We get Tommy's wife Maria, who's she
played by her from True Blood.
Retina Wesley.
Yeah, she's so good in True Blood.
Yeah, so she kind of gives you the exposition dump, explains about the place, how they got started, and also gives the explanation why Tommy stopped answering Joel on the radio, that they don't want people to find them and they don't want to broadcast from their local tower, which makes fucking sense.
Yes, makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely, can't argue with that logic.
Did you all notice the little hint of Dina?
Yes.
Yep.
From The Last of Us 2 in there?
Same clothes.
I did.
Same clothes, and also emulating that point, that little bit of incidental dialogue from the game.
Yes, where when she first met her.
Yeah, so Ellie's chowing down hard because it's the first meal that they've had. And there is a sequence early on in The Last of Us 2 where she talks about the first time she saw her at the commune, saying, "Who's this? I saw this and thought this. Who's this skinny girl stealing all the beef jerky?"
Yep. Posted in our Discord earlier.
Very good little nod to the game and to the dialogue in the game.
This is the first time I've seen on Twitter, of all places, where no one's moaning about Maria being a black woman instead. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, because she's really good as Maria, and there's no difference to what race she is and stuff like that. Yeah. I expected it as soon as I saw the change. I was like, here it comes. But no, I think she was perfect as Maria.
I like this version of Maria because in the game she's very abrasive. She's almost like an antagonist.
Yeah, she seems like a baddie. But in this, she's more like just someone that wants to get by.
Yeah. And so Maria takes Ellie aside so Joel and Tommy can catch up, and she gets her out, gets her a nice hot shower, gives her some new clothes, and even in a move that I really enjoyed, a moon cup.
Yeah, it's good to see. I had to be explained of what a moon cup was, but I got adequately explained by my wife in great detail and depth, and now I'm an expert on moon cups.
Yes. But just this is two moments where we've basically seen like it's
realism.
For women surviving. Well, it's different for women surviving in a situation like this because of that extra biological function they have that we don't.
Yeah, which is such an important part of womanhood in general.
Yes, and that is a solution as opposed to, as we mentioned last time, tampons which go off.
Yeah, and I've been assured that they can be reused once cleaned.
Yeah. You boil them and reuse them.
Oh, I had a lesson that day, guys. I had a lesson.
Joel and Tommy have a bit of a drink, and we get it's almost a 1-to-1 sequence from when they're at the dam, where it's the hyper masculine sequence.
Yeah, I did like Pedro Pascal's face when he drank that whiskey. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, because I can imagine if you'd gone this long, Gadget, without your precious whiskey, you'd be like that as well.
Good whiskey as well, Gentleman Jack.
Very with real
whiskey.
ice as well.
So they get the argument.
Yeah, this is basically it is the hyper masculine moment of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's word for word. I'm pretty sure I've read.
It's not word for word. There's changes obviously to do with the pregnancy because that never happened.
Okay, but like
that wasn't a thing in the game.
Majority of it is meant to be. Yeah,
like Maria never got pregnant in the games. So there you go.
But yeah, very very well put together sequence, and that gets kind of resolved later, where we see Joel in a workshop. While the rest of the town is having... Actually, no, Joel walks out and he sees a girl with kind of big, wiry, curly hair like Sarah's.
Did you notice I think that girl helped his panic attack rather than...
I think she caused it.
I don't know. It looked like he was coming out having a panic attack. And then he started focusing on her and daydreaming. Knowing full well it can't be his daughter, but he was like thinking... That would be my daughter now as an adult, and I could be a granddad at this age. And I think that kind of got him out of the panic attack in a way. But that's how I read it. He sees
that girl?
Yeah.
I just read it as he saw someone that looked like his daughter. She looked about the same age to me. Just looked like a...
No, she was an adult. She was definitely an adult. So she had a kid.
She had a kid. I felt like he were thinking, she'd be this age now. And she looks like she's got the same frizzy hair. And... I could be a granddad by this point.
Because at this point, Sarah will be 34.
Yeah, I just think it calmed him down personally because his panic attack stopped after that woman walked off.
I really...
I'll have to watch it again to really get a sense of that.
See that moment for me, I read that as that was the panic attack. That caused the panic attack, or at least it enhanced it. Mm-hmm. And that's where he made the decision that Tommy should take...
that was definitely the point where he did make that decision, yeah. Because he's like, I am breaking down. I can't run anymore. I'm deaf as a post. He hasn't even got good shoes. Do you know what I mean? He couldn't even fix his own shoes, could he? That's the problem. He just felt like
he couldn't take the sole off.
He felt like a lesser man. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. Fucking powerful, man. I think Pedro Pascal in this episode, that's his fucking. That is where he's super acting in this episode.
Oh yeah, where you get that next sequence between.
Oh,
so
God.
most of the town watching a film, but Joel is in a workshop trying to resole his boots and failing miserably.
Yep.
Tommy interrupts him, and Joel breaks down.
Yep.
Explains that Ellie's immune, that he doesn't feel like he can keep her safe, that he's having panic attacks, that he's not as strong as he used to be, all this kind of thing. And the level of acting from Pedro Pascal here is off the fucking charts.
I've never seen him like this. I'm worried for him.
I know. You just
I've never seen him this vulnerable in stuff like,
certainly don't get it in Mandalorian.
No, because he's got his fucking helmet on. But
or in Narcos,
or in fucking what's it called? The fucking
Game of Thrones.
No, the Golden Circle. What's it called? Kingsman 2.
Yeah,
Kingsman 2.
No, I don't think he would have got away with crying in that one.
No, I just think this is one of his finest hours.
Yes. So Tommy reluctantly agrees to take Ellie to the University of Colorado, which is where they believe the Fireflies are.
He tells Tommy everything, doesn't he?
He does.
Mm.
Ellie overhears all this and storms off.
Yep.
As is expected. And then we get the one-to-one recreation of the hardest scene to watch in the game. For me, anyway. Which is the bedroom scene, which the bedroom is 101 recreated from that homestead that they find.
Yeah, it's just a different place, isn't it? That's all.
Yeah, maybe that was it then. The one that's the.
That is
100%. What?
Apart from like 2 lines, I think, but yeah, it's all 1-to-1.
They changed. What line is it? There's some.
They basically brought forward when she mentioned Sarah.
Yes, yeah. He says one more word, something like that, doesn't it? And in the game, it's slightly different.
Yeah. So earlier on, Ellie had found a memorial to 2 children, one of which was Maria's child that had died early on in the pandemic, and the other one was Sarah, Tommy's niece.
Did you notice that the date was the day after that it kicked off because she died after midnight? Oh, it's fucking clever.
And so that's when Ellie learns about Sarah, because obviously Joel has not said anything about Sarah up to this point. We get this really fucking overwrought emotional scene where Joel is basically saying, "I'm done. I can't do this anymore."
Mm.
And Ellie saying, "Don't compare me to Sarah." And she's like adamant she doesn't want to leave Joel
because she says she says like, "Don't you think I'll be worse because I'll be more scared with someone else?" And she's such a child at that point, and it's so vulnerable.
Yeah, like at this point, she's been with him 5 months ish.
Yeah,
this is 3 months after
like
the event, so she must have been with him for about 4 or 5 months at least. At that point, yeah, she's built up that trust. He's the only one that she's been with. That almost father figure type relationship.
But then he says,
starting to blossom.
He says the heartbreaking thing, like, I'm not your dad. Oh.
It's I ain't your daddy.
Yeah,
I ain't your daddy.
You sure as hell aren't my daughter.
Yeah.
So, Joel, man, that rookie mistake. That's heartbreaking.
I think it's really well performed by them both in this show. Thing is, he's probably going to hear this now. I think Troy Baker does it better in the game. That monologue. I think he plays it better and he holds it better. But now I've mentioned Troy Baker's name, he's going to hear this somehow through the internet and come at me.
He's already putting his hat. He's already putting his best hats on to come and find you.
He's going to come and get me and go, thanks for that.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Baker is brilliant as Joel, so it's no.
Oh, I'm not. I think Troy Baker is better in that little scene. And I don't know if you've played the remake of it. Fucking the lip quivering and stuff.
I've seen a video of it. I think the Troy Baker performance is angrier.
It is.
Whereas the Pedro Pascal performance is more heartbroken. So he's trying not to cry.
The Troy Baker like monologue is more when you like Harry and the Hendersons and Old Yeller, when you've got to tell the dog to go away or the Bigfoot to fuck off. It's that.
Yeah.
Like, get away! I don't want to see you anymore. It was that kind of thing. Like, remember Harry in the Ensigns, how it's so sad when he has to send him off. Oh, it's so sad. And it's that kind of, but yeah, Pedro plays it as in like, and as we get to see, he does want to go with her, but he knows he can't. Because in the game, it works out differently that Tommy doesn't agree to take her, does he? That's the difference. So he has to take her anyway, if you remember.
No, yeah. Well, no, Tommy does agree to take her.
Does he change his mind? Does he change his mind same then? I can't remember.
I can't remember how he changed his mind in the game, but definitely both agreed to take him in both the game and the TV show.
Yeah, maybe so.
So after this argument, Joel goes to bed and he dreams of Sarah, or nightmares of Sarah, or remembers Sarah. He has a moment.
Christmas, aren't they? The Christmas tree.
Yeah. The next morning, Ellie meets Tommy and stomps over to the stables, where Joel is already there.
He does that amazing thing when he says, "You've got a choice," and she just throws back at him.
Yeah, she goes, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Yeah, I thought it would be fair to give you a choice. You can go with me or Tommy. It just throws the bag at him. Get on the horse.
and I bet deep down Tommy's like, "Oh, thank God Maria's not going to fucking kill me. She's not going to kill me."
There's a few moments of like good comedy from Ellie in this. Like it's a bit where at the table where she's like, he said, "Oh, no offense, but we just want to talk family," and he's like, "Well, actually," and she's like, "Oh shit," she's like, "Congratulations." She's like, "Joel, say congratulations."
Yeah. I think Bella Ramsey's fantastic.
I think she's nailed like that little sarcastic kind of could be a little arsehole at times version part of Ellie.
She's got that twerp part of Ellie, hasn't she? The I love it when she spots like Dina like staring at her across it. What the fuck are you looking at?
Do you know what she reminds me? She reminds me of like she's a bit of a dork, but she don't realise she's a dork. Do you know what I mean? It's like she's a dork with spunk. She's proper like
Yeah, like actually the previous episode kind of perfectly shows that when they're in the. I know she's kind of playing with the younger lad, but like the way she's playing, the way she's reading the comics, she is a bit like that. But she also has to realise herself that she has to be a bit tougher and more grown up in this world.
She's putting an act on, I think, a lot of the time.
Yeah,
she's such a nuanced,
and she nails that. Really like Bella Ramsey nails both aspects of it.
She does. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's and you're right, Oodles. This is where we get the sequence where like kind of all is forgiven between the two, and they're just getting on as they were before.
They're laughing.
They're joking. Joel's telling him more about kind of life pre-infections, and explain and like talks about being a contractor. And I love
everybody loves contractors.
Yeah. So people must have loved you, right? So everybody loved contractors. And just that smug smile on his face.
That's so good. I do like the bit as well when he makes that shot on the sniper rifle. He almost looks at the camera and gives it a wink. Do you know what I mean? He's so happy.
Yeah, because he's got a target set up.
She's like, it's impossible. This gun's fucked.
Yeah, Ellie takes a shot. This gun's shit. It doesn't work. So give it here, and he shoots it. And I just, you fucking dick. And she walks off. Yeah, and you get the camera pan over it. Big target which has asshole on it, and he's shot right in the middle of the H.
Yeah, that's the one thing about Joel. He's still got his visions that he's number one now. He's deaf as a post, but he's still got his sharp eye. Yeah, it's good.
And then we get to the University of Colorado, which I didn't realize how well they'd modeled this in the game.
Oh yeah,
because everything is fucking perfect.
Yeah, it's exactly the same. But that's what the university looks like, doesn't it?
Yeah. So the University of Colorado sequence in the game is a very long, drawn-out sequence of stealth and combat. This is kind of truncated down.
That's very fast.
Because I don't think they needed to troll through clicker encounters through the dorms.
They also did the thing where, like, in this, they just found a map pointing to Salt Lake City. In the game, you had to find documents and a tape recorder, and then you had to escape, and then he falls on the rebar. You know what I mean? There's way more to it. The monkeys is bang on though. The monkeys is bang on.
Oh, the monkeys is great. Yeah. They spot some monkeys which Joel assumes must have come from the science department.
Yeah.
They explore the kind of the admin building. See that there would have been looks like there have been doctors there recently.
Yeah.
But all the fireflies are gone. They've bugged out.
Yeah.
And as they're preparing to leave, they spot four naughty boys.
Marauders again, aren't they? We think they are.
Yeah. They stealth their way out. They almost get to the horse when Joel doesn't hear one of them coming up because he's deaf as a post.
Oh, I do like that because in the game that's not a thing, is it? There's nothing to do with his hearing. But in
fact, he's got super Joel senses.
Yeah, he's a mutant. He's actually a mutant. He can see through walls. But in this, that vulnerability makes it so. This is why he's not a killing machine in this. You know what I mean? He is a vulnerable man, and that I did not see this coming. This proper blood. I was like, I know he gets injured, and I know this is the moment before the real winter in the game, but I thought he was gonna fall down the stairs and then hit rebar like he does. But no,
I thought that would happen. So this guy attacks him with a baseball bat. They kind of fight around. He snaps the baseball bat gets snapped on the side of a tree, I think.
Yes.
Then they get kind of in close into fight, and Joel turns around, snaps his neck.
Yeah.
And as he turns around to look at Ellie, he looks down and he sees the broken end of the baseball bat is in his gut. As opposed to in the game where he falls off a balcony and lands with rebar pipe.
And you've got to pull yourself up, haven't you, and then crawl out, and it takes about 15 minutes.
Just fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It kind of annoyed me when he pulled that out, because he should know, as a survivalist, don't pull it out.
Have you ever had the top end of a baseball bat in your gut? Because I reckon that's an instinct thing. I reckon he didn't realise what he were doing. I think
he
just
should know not to pull it out, but whereas
everyone knows that.
But the fact that in the game you go through rebar and he has to pull himself out,
so he can go,
works better.
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
It'd have been better if he'd have fallen onto a fallen tree branch or something and had to pull himself up, pull his body off.
I agree. Yeah. I genuinely agree, but I think they were just doing it for pace and time and just get past this university because it is a real slog in the game. This bit,
it is.
There's a lot of generators, isn't there, in this pack?
A lot of generators, a lot of clickers, 2 bloaters as well.
Yeah.
So they escape the others as they chase up, and they get kind of out of Colorado City. But as they're heading along the train track, again 1-to-1 shot with the game, Joel just slides off the horse into a snowdrift.
Yeah, and she says, "I can't do it without you."
Yep, the episode ends with Ellie begging Joel to wake up.
Yeah. And we won't know what happens to that for another 2 weeks because the next episode's Left Behind.
Yep. So the next episode's going to be Ellie's backstory.
Yeah, which, believe me, guys, if you've not played the game, is sensational. I'm very excited for this. Very excited.
I'm glad they did this. I'm glad they've put this bit in because it's really needed.
Yeah.
Not like, it just really helps more than needed. It just helps a lot.
Well, the thing is, in the game, with Joel being injured, and I'm not going to spoil anything that happens past the fact that he's injured and he's in a cellar in an house, is it a month from being injured until she's trying to still heal him with antibiotics or something, isn't she? I think it's a month.
It's something like because in the game it transitions from the end of autumn to the end of winter.
So
it's about a month. 6
I reckon
weeks.
this mid like this episode that's going to be completely away from as a prologue, prequel bit and backstory. It's going to make the episode after do feel like she's been there a while with me if they do it that way.
Yeah,
I think it's. Oh god, 3 episodes left, guys.
I'm sad. I don't want it to end.
No.
3 episodes doesn't seem enough to get this in, to get Left Behind, and then the last 2.
Yeah, so I know the last episode's an hour and a half, isn't it?
Must be 2 hours long.
Yeah, yeah. 8 and 9 are going to have to be longer episodes because 8 will be winter and it'll be David.
Yeah.
And then episode 9 will be Salt Lake City.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah.
Because once you get out of the winter sequence, you just basically turn up at Salt Lake City. There isn't anything in between those.
Yeah, they just get a horse, don't they, and get out.
Yeah. So, it's going to be the next 3 episodes are going to be hard fucking going because Left Behind is a great little story, but it's also heartbreaking and tense.
It's one of the best DLCs I've ever played in my life.
Yeah,
so good.
And then I think 8's going to be where we get the real horror because that is going to be the scary episode.
Oh, David, man. David.
Have they said who's playing David yet?
No. It's definitely not Troy Baker, though.
No, Troy Baker's playing a character called James.
Yeah, it was probably one of David's men.
Scott Shepherd.
Oh. I've only seen that episode one. Every other episode we've discussed, I've seen them twice. I've only seen that episode once, and I really, really enjoyed it though. It's my second favourite episode of the season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was very good.
It's the highest rated one on IMDb.
And not a single infected in that episode.
You're right. There's not. I think they've done really well with like limiting the amount of infected you see. Like because everyone keeps saying, well, obviously your normal kind of nutcase on Twitter keep calling it a zombie show. It's like, but
there hasn't been a single zombie in the whole series.
There's been 6 episodes. There's only been 3 episodes with infected in.
The thing is, right, this shows the power of these characters where it's a post-apocalyptic take and it's about the characters. Everything else is just in the periphery. It's just, you treat the infected like weather. Do you know what I mean? They're just a force of nature. That's it. They're obstacles. They're not. It's not the be-all, end-all.
I think also having them arrive sporadically as well kind of increases the impact that the infected make.
They did enough with that clicker episode. They did enough. That's enough.
And with the end of Endured.
That's enough fright for you to know this is a serious thing. You know what I mean? You don't need to see it but the full episode, not a single infected on it, and it shows you that. It shows you.
It also gives you that scale of how big America is. You know, they can go months without seeing them infected.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I don't even think in the game it talks about what the rest of the world got like, does it? Like this did with India. We don't know.
Jakarta,
yeah. We don't know what rest of the world's going to be like. But America being so huge, it's probably the same with Russia as well. There'll be parts of Siberia where you wouldn't see an infected ever.
Yeah,
it's just one of them things. It's great.
Well, that's the thing. As far as the game's concerned, it's just America that's affected like this.
I think
it doesn't
so.
Make any supposition towards.
It doesn't do anything, does it? It doesn't mention it.
But because they would have no way of finding out.
Exactly.
They can't hardly having transatlantic flights, are they?
No, they're not. No. They did have helicopters in the first episode of this, though.
Yeah, but Joel's not going to hop out of the QZ in Boston to fly over to France for his summer holidays or something. Is
I reckon Ryanair would still be running.
Ryanair will be running at the heat death of the universe. Because the owner won't let them shut down.
Yes, it'd still be running.
You'd still be giving infected discounts just to fill the flights up.
Yeah, infected class in the back of the plane, sealed off. Okay, so we've gone through these 3 episodes. Any more thoughts on them?
I just think I was really like on a high from episode 3. Episode 4 brought me back down again. Episode 5 and 6 just made me secure, thinking, this is not going to fall off a cliff now in the next 3 episodes.
No, I don't see it either. Not. I think 4 was probably the lowest point, and even that wasn't a bad episode.
I can tell you now. It wasn't a bad episode.
Following on from episode 3, just kind of had a tough.
I can tell you now, it's right what the internet's saying. Where the other TV shows at the Emmys need to start being scared because this is winning it all.
This is going to clean up
for the fucking Emmys, man. Jesus, the amount of times
they'll get to so much shite, won't they?
Yeah, the amount of times they've got shit wrong.
Yeah.
But in general, from the writing to the acting to the production design to the production value of it, like this.
This is how you do an adaptation. This is, again, like I said in the last episode of this is the bar that even season 2 of this show's got to fucking go up against. Amazing. I'm watching his career like a hawk now.
Oh, absolutely. I think, I don't want to speculate on the second season. We know that they'll be doing Last of Us Part 2, but I kind of hope that when they get to it, they'll be doing a what do you call it? Like a gap, like have a couple of years to allow Bella Ramsey to age up.
Maybe some original content in that universe.
Yeah, there's more stories to tell in this world,
and I reckon he could do it.
Or they could tell Abby's story rather than having Abby's story interlinked with Ellie's.
Make it a bit more linear.
Yeah.
But
regardless of that is speculation. We'll speculate more after the next one of these. So, yes, thank you for listening. We'll be back in 3 weeks' time for the final third of the series,
and we'll all be crying.
We'll all be crying. We'll all be upset. Wondering what to do with telly boxes because we've been spoiled here. Now it'll be as good. It's like taking heroin. First one's always the best.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, thank you all for listening. Make sure to check out the main podcast every Thursday. Check out Do Dragons Scream? Do Dragons Scream or Score Cheap? That's what I'm going to call the Halloween episode this year. Do Dragons Scream?
Treehouse of Horror episode.
Yeah, get on the Patreon. So patreon.com/Modern Escapism. You'll get the next episode before anybody else does because you're a special person who gives us money.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the details are on the website, modernescapism.co.uk, and you can find out about our other shows as well, Deep Dive Lounge and Smash That Glass. So, yes, thank you for listening, and good night.
Damn!
Bye.
I made this decision for your own good. You'll be way better off with Tommy. He knows the area better than I do.
Do you give a shit about me or not?
Of course I do.
Then what are you so afraid of? I'm not her, you know. Maria told me about Sarah and...
Don't say another word.
I'm sorry about your daughter, Joel. But I've lost people too.
You have no idea what loss is.
Everybody I have cared for has either died or left me. Everybody fucking except for you! So don't tell me that I'd be safe with somebody else, because the truth is, I would just be more scared.
You're right. You're not my daughter. And I sure as hell ain't your dad. Now come dawn, we're going our separate ways.